A race is underway, and a red car is in the lead. The commentators are saying it looks like Leo Lombardi will come in number one again, just like every time. And that's exactly what happens. Leo Lombardi is first as always. Then after winning the match, when the cameraman gets ready for his photo shoot, they wonder where Leo is. Leo is with his boyfriend, who is a mechanic on his team. JJ says, "You shouldn't be here right now. Everyone is waiting for you outside." JJ doesn't like this. And then, later, when Leo gets a call from his manager, Frank, his manager says, "Leo, where are you? You just won a race, and you have to do a photo shoot for your contract." So Leo says, "You should tell JJ that. I was spending time with him. His manager says he's not your assistant." Leo ignores his manager, says bye to JJ, and leaves. After that is the award ceremony, and the commentators announce that Leo Lombardi is currently the fastest F1 racer in the world, and he's held the number one rank for 2 years, and no one has been able to beat him. That night, a celebration party is going on, and JJ stops outside a club and says, "Hello, I'm here." Then a guy brings Leo over and says, "JJ, you're here. He's had way too much to drink. Can you take him home safely?" Everyone congratulates Leo for winning the race, and Leo says thank you to everyone. His friend asks JJ, "How do you handle this guy?" So JJ says thanks for taking care of him. When Leo opens his eyes, he's in a hotel. He gets up and says, "How did I get to a hotel? I wanted to drink more. I wanted to celebrate more." He says, "JJ, I saw you at the party. Where were you?" JJ says, "I don't like going to parties." So Leo says, "I don't know how you live such a boring life." Then JJ says, "I have to leave New York, right?" Leo asks about it. JJ says, "We'll talk about it later when you're sober." But Leo says, "I want to talk now. This habit of yours of hiding things from me really pisses me off." Then JJ says, "I'm tired of all this." Leo gets angry and kicks JJ. He says, "Tired? What are you tired of? Is this the right way to talk to your boyfriend?" JJ starts to walk away, and Leo says, "Hey, I'm trying to talk to you." He throws a pillow at him and says, "I'm not done talking to you. If you take one more step forward, I'll break up with you." So JJ glares at him and says, "Wake up from your dream, Leo Lombardi. I'm breaking up with you." And he leaves from there. Leo is shocked. The next morning, when Leo wakes up, he says, "JJ, please make me some coffee." He checks his bed and sees that JJ isn't there. So he gets up to look for him and says, "I need coffee." But he sees that JJ is nowhere to be found. He thinks, where could this person have gone so early in the morning? He remembers that JJ was with him last night. Then it hits him that he broke up with him. Then he makes his own coffee, checks his phone, and thinks still. No call, no message. He's the one who fought with me, who hides things from me. So I should be the one who's angry here. He says, how did I spend 5 years with this person? Anyway, I can live without a boyfriend, and I'm not desperate enough to be with someone. 10 days pass since their breakup. Then Leo face calls his sisters and says, I have a problem. The youngest of his 3 sisters, Harper, says, what's the problem? Leo says, I don't know what's been happening with me lately. I keep losing my things, and I'm having a lot of bad luck. Then the middle of his 3 sisters, Emily, asks, what's Jay doing? Harper says, only Jay can sort out your things. Where is he? So Leo says, maybe it's time to tell them. He says, he and I broke up. So Emily says, what, he really dumped you? It was about time. Leo says he didn't dump me. I dumped him. Harper says, well, he might be our little brother, but all men are useless. We should take JJ out for dinner. Leo says, you guys seem to think that man is an angel, but let me tell you, when we first met, that guy was bad-mouthing me behind my back. And that was on our very first meeting. But his sisters don't listen to him. They cut him off mid-sentence and say, go and grovel to JJ, he'll forgive you. So Leo says, forget it, and says bye. And he says, why do they think it's my problem? Everywhere I go, everyone is saying that I should apologize to JJ. And wherever I go, I see that guy. He says to JJ, go exercise on some other treadmill. But JJ says, I was here first. So Leo says, still, you should go. They think we've been together for 5 years. Our favorite restaurant is the same, our job is the same, even our gym is the same. After a breakup, all this is pretty cringy. It doesn't even feel like we've broken up. Then it gets pretty hot while exercising and JJ takes off his t-shirt. Looking at his body, Leo thinks, well, I have to say his body is pretty good. No matter how much I exercise, my body could never turn out like that. Yeah, he really is beautiful. He was just thinking all this when a guy comes up and says to JJ, "Hey, it's been a while since we met." He says, "If you don't mind, I need to talk to you about something. Can we talk?" So JJ says, "Yeah, of course." Leo watches him and thinks, who is this guy? He's a driver from the Akron team. What was his name? And he thinks how weird this is. How do these two know each other? JJ doesn't have any friends. His one and only friend is me. And that's only because I'm so nice to him. I'm so nice, that's why I used to hang out with him. Otherwise, no one would hang out with him. And what are these two talking about anyway? They're too far away, I can't hear anything. Then he sees him laughing. Leo is shocked. He thinks I haven't seen him laugh in so long. His focus breaks, and there's a crashing sound. We see Leo lying on the ground holding his leg. JJ runs to his side. He says, "You sprained your leg." "I knew this would happen because you weren't paying attention to your running. You look everywhere but at your exercise, Leo." Leo thinks he's always lecturing me. So JJ says to the trainer, "Can you give him a little massage?" Now he leaves from there. He's injured, but JJ left him there. Leo's manager, Frank, says, "You're going to give me a heart attack. It's a good thing it's just a small sprain and nothing serious. I'm begging you. Please take a little care of yourself. Don't you know the championship is coming up?" So Leo says, "Yeah, I know. By the way, tell me something. It's not that I need to know, but are JJ and that second driver from the Akron team, the one with the yellow hair and ugly face, are they friends?" Frank says, "You're talking about Peter." "Yeah, it's possible because JJ and Akron have a deal." So Leo asks, the Akron team is trying to steal our team's mechanic. Why didn't I know about this? So Frank says last season the Akron guys made JJ an offer, and the conditions were pretty good too. JJ is a very skilled mechanic, and he's always looking for ways to get better. But he's been with the Zeus team for a long time, so he didn't make a decision. Leo thinks, why didn't he tell me about this? Then he thinks, wait a minute. He told me he had to leave New York. Then he gets very angry and says so that's why he broke up with me so he could go and join the Akron team. Then Frank says, "From what I'm hearing, you're the whole problem, because you didn't." Leo doesn't say anything to this. Frank says JJ isn't that kind of person. You joined Zeus because of him. Do you really think he would leave everything and join Akron? Give him some time, everything will be okay. Leo thinks I joined Zeus because of JJ. Yes, I absolutely did. Because back then, I didn't know what I should do. And then a backstory from 5 years ago. Everyone is sitting in a club drinking. The Zeus team crew is talking amongst themselves, saying it's our first year, we're a new team. The competition is so tough, and we've only been around for 2 years. And this time we have an empty spot on our team. We have to choose a new driver. Who should we choose? The most famous driver this time is definitely Leo Lombardi. The guy has a great face, and he's an X model too. All the sponsors will definitely go crazy for him. It would be great if he joined our team. They say, JJ, what do you think about it? You'll be joining our crew next year, so give us your thoughts too. So JJ says, I'd be happy if anyone joins as long as it's not Leo Lombardi. A man is listening to their conversation. JJ says, in my opinion, he's the worst driver. That man says, excuse me? Why? And it turns out to be Leo. And he says, I'd like to hear your thoughts. Why do you think so? Seeing him, everyone there gets nervous. Leo says, hello. I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but I was here and I heard my name, so I couldn't stop myself. He asks JJ, so tell me, why do you? JJ looks at him and says, because you drive too aggressively, which increases the probability of an accident. So Leo says, yeah, I know that. Tell me the second one. Then JJ says, you have a huge ego. You drive for yourself, not for the team. Leo says, yeah, absolutely. And then JJ keeps criticizing him, and Leo gets very angry. He thinks, why isn't this list of complaints ending? He says, thank you, your skills are very sharp. So tell me, how many years of experience do you have? JJ says, next year will be my first year. Leo says, you criticize me like you have 10 years of experience, so just shut your mouth. JJ says, experience has nothing to do with it. Leo says, how do you know so much about me? Are you my stalker or my superfan? You must be my super. As they're fighting, a bouncer from the club comes over, kicks them out, and says, fighting isn't allowed in here. Please take it outside. After they get outside, Leo asks, where are you going? JJ replies, I'm going back to my room. Leo says, so early, JJ tells him, stop following me. Leo says, I'm not following you. My hotel is in the same direction. Then Leo asks, If I'm the worst driver, then who's the best, JJ says. In the present time, Leo repeats present. Who's the best driver in history because there can only be one? And they both say the same name at once, Rafael Salva. After that, they're both shocked, thinking, wow, we both like the same person. Our favorite driver is the same. Leo says, hey, you said Rafael's name. Most people don't mention him. JJ replies, he has no competition. He's the best. Leo says, jinx. And then they start to connect over having the same favorite driver. They realize their tastes are the same, their favorite team is the same, and they think the same way. Leo gets really happy and says, hey, we're the same in every way. So tell me, why don't you like me? Give me a reason. What is it that I'm missing? JJ says, I just don't like it. Leo asks, how would you know? But before JJ could say anything else, Leo's phone rings. He says, what timing? It's Frank on the phone who says, you know you have a photo shoot tomorrow, right? Where are you right now? Leo replies, I'm outside a hotel. Frank says, okay, is someone with you? He then says to whoever is with Leo, please can you put him in a taxi and send him to the hotel? Then he puts Leo in a taxi and says, you shouldn't be wasting so much time. Your manager will be worried. Leo replies, I didn't waste any time at all. In fact, I really enjoyed spending time with you. Thank you. He smiles at him, and then leaves. Frank is listening in and says, it sounds like you two are flirting. Then Leo asks, what's a team that was only formed 2 years ago? Frank replies, a team like that. That's probably Zeus. Leo says, Zeus. Fine, I'll join Zeus. Frank says, but you said you wouldn't join any lower ranking team. But Leo doesn't listen to him. He's just happy that he's finally going to be on the team. And then the next day, the news breaks that Leo Lombardi has joined Zeus. In the present day, Leo is really worried because his ranking keeps dropping. He used to be in first place, and now he's number 6. He wonders if it's because he doesn't have a boyfriend these days. He can't find a boyfriend online in the clubs or even anyone to hook up with on his team. He wonders how all of this is even supposed to work. He's furious with JJ, but he can't stop himself from thinking about him, and he feels like something is missing from his life. I don't know what's going to happen to me. And then, the next race begins. All the pit crew members are telling Leo he should do this, he should do that. The commentators are saying that Leo isn't giving it his 100% lately, and his ranking just keeps falling. And look, he's just been overtaken again. And just like that, Leo falls out of the top 10 rankings. Leo gets furious after the race is over and doesn't talk to anyone. JJ tries to stop him and talk to him, but Leo ignores him and just walks away. JJ feels bad, but Leo doesn't even look his way. Online, everyone is trashing Leo. It seems like his era is over. Leo is reading the online comments when his 3 sisters from Italy arrive to see him in London. His eldest sister, Olivia, asks, how are you seeing his sisters? Leo starts to cry. They say, hey, don't cry. Stop crying. Now tell us where the best place to eat in London is. Leo says food is all you care about. Later at a cafe, his sisters say, are you feeling better now? Cheer up. Your sisters came all this way to see you. Leo replies, you guys didn't come to see me, you only care about shopping. His sisters laugh and say, that's not true. We only came to see you. On video calls, we can't even see your whole face. You know, you even show up in our dreams. Leo then says, in 2 weeks, my next race is in Italy. As your big sister, I'm so proud of you. When you were a kid, you never stayed interested in anything for long, and you know if things get too hard, you can always quit racing. Leo replies, I know, but lately it feels like whenever I really need it, my luck just runs out. Then Emily says, I know why. It's all because of JJ. Leo asks, what do you mean by that? Emily says, don't you remember? Back in your early days, you used to call him your good luck charm. Hearing this gives Leo goosebumps, and he says, please don't talk like that. Emily replies, you were the one who used to say all that stuff, and you would get so shy like it was your first relationship. Leo says, everyone acts like that when a relationship is new. Then his sister says, actually, come to think of it, after you started dating him, your racing got a lot better. You became much more serious. You even got taller. His sisters say, it looks like your good luck has run out. Leo insists, it's not like that. So, Olivia says, then tell us what's the secret to your terrible performance lately, especially since it's happening at the same time you two broke up. We think you should go and beg him to take you back. He'll take you back. Besides, you're not going to find someone that good again. So Leo says, he was the one who left me for God knows what reason. Why should I go and apologize? Olivia asks. You still don't know the reason, Leo replies. If I call him to ask for the reason, I'll look desperate, and I'm not doing that. We haven't even spoken to each other since then. The three sisters then look at each other, and Leo says, why are you looking at each other like that? What are you planning? The sisters act innocent and say, nothing, and Leo says, if you do something, I swear I won't let you get away with it. Meanwhile, JJ is waiting for a call. He's looking at his phone, wondering why it hasn't come yet. He's waiting for Leo's call. Just then, his chief comes in and says, JJ, what have you decided about that matter? You know that opportunities like this don't come around often. Yes, I know it's not easy to leave the team in the middle of everything, but you shouldn't just give up. JJ replies, yeah, I know. I just haven't thought about it yet. Later that night, while JJ is working, he sees a call coming in. It's Leo's call. Seeing Leo's call, JJ immediately grabs the phone, but he doesn't pick it up right away. Then he answers and says, yeah, what's up? On the other end, Harper says, it's me, Leo's sister. My phone battery died, so I'm calling from his phone. She's lying. She says, we're at a club right now. Leo's had a lot to drink, and he's only talking about you. Can you come and pick him up? Hearing this makes JJ angry. He says, please, I can't come. But then he says, all right, fine. I'm on my way. After reaching the club, Harper calls him again. She asks, did you make it? JJ says, yeah, I'm here. Harper replies, oh, sorry. I thought Leo was right here, but he suddenly disappeared. We were keeping an eye on him. Just then, JJ sees Leo coming out of the bathroom with another guy, and that man has his hand on Leo's shoulder. Leo spots JJ. JJ thinks that Leo is replacing him so quickly, and he calls Harper back and says, don't worry, I found Leo. Leo sees that JJ came to see him, but JJ turns to leave. Leo sees this and tells him to wait, but the man with Leo says, hey, you said we were going to spend time together. But Leo punches him. He yells for JJ to stop, but JJ doesn't listen. So he runs after him, grabs his arm, and says, hey, just talk to me for a second. He says, I know how that must have looked, but it's not like that at all. He continues, besides, I don't need to explain anything to you. We're broken up, and you have no reason to be angry with me. Then Leo says, it sounds like you have a lot of complaints. So why didn't you say any of this before JJ retorts? If I had complained, would you have even listened? Leo says, of course I would have listened. I know how to listen. JJ says, just drop it. You're not 19 anymore, Leo retorts. So now it's my fault again. Well, I have a complaint about you too. Why didn't you tell me about the A-round meeting? JJ replies, because it had nothing to do with you. Leo says, oh really, take off your cap and look me in the eye when you talk to me. Tell me why you wouldn't tell your boyfriend about your own matters. JJ says, boyfriend. Do you even see me as your boyfriend? This shocks Leo and he asks, what is that supposed to mean? JJ says, forget it. You wouldn't understand. Whenever you get into some kind of trouble, everyone calls me as if it's my job. But you know what? It's gotten old. And if you just want to sleep with a guy, you can find anyone. Why are you so hung up on me? Leo says, it's not what you think. JJ continues, at first I thought that if we just gave each other some time, everything would work out. I was the fool for having even the slightest bit of expectation. It's a good thing we stopped seeing each other before we did something we'd both regret. And with that, he walks away. Leo watches him leave. JJ gets into his car and thinks to himself that it was never like this before. After joining him, Leo was always trying to impress JJ. He once said, did you see JJ? I've improved my personal record, so JJ replies, that's good. And Leo says, that's it. You know, you could praise me a little more. You should at least compliment me a bit. So JJ says, there's still a lot of room for improvement in your skills. Leo replies, you know you're so rude. Just you watch how I keep getting better. Then Frank comes and says to JJ, wow, it seems like he's crazy about impressing you. Anyway, I know you're a busy person, but you know, tonight there's a party at Leo's house and he'd love it if you came. And if you don't, you know how awful his tantrums are. That evening, JJ's phone is flooded with messages. When he checks, they're all from Leo telling him to come to the party. JJ says he won't come, but Leo sends him a message saying, "I miss you." After that, JJ goes to his party. A party is going on at Leo's house for his birthday, and Leo is telling everyone about a mechanic on his team saying, "You know, he hates me so much. He's very young, but he talks like an old man. He's always lecturing me and takes such good care of my training and my diet. He never stops fighting with me and only ever talks about work." So his friend says, "It sounds like that man pays a lot of attention to you and that he likes you." Leo thinks he pays attention to me. He's been following me, I never noticed. And then he sees JJ has arrived. He's very happy to see JJ. He says, "You're here. Your timing is pretty good. I was thinking of getting away from them anyway." So JJ asks, "Aren't they your friends?" And Leo says, "They are my friends, but I prefer spending time with you." JJ says, "I can't stay for long," but Leo says, "Just stay." And he announces to everyone, "Everybody listen up. My friend, who is very busy, came to my party. He made time to come see me, and he's amazing at his job. He's my..." Everybody cheers for JJ. So Leo says, "Now you can't leave because you're our guest of honor." JJ thinks, "What have I gotten myself into?" After that, they're both sitting in Leo's living room, and JJ says, "I shouldn't have even come here. I don't know why I came. I was just going to say hello and leave." Just then, Leo comes closer to him and says, "JJ, look how good this photo turned out. I'll send it to you later." Then suddenly Leo screams. JJ says, "This wasn't the time for a pool party. You'll catch a cold." Leo says, "Yeah, it is cold." JJ says, "You should be more careful. You already missed a tournament because of your cold." Leo says, "Wait a minute, that was a long time ago when I used to do L3 races. How do you know about something that old?" Seeing him turn red, Leo says, "Wait, were you really stalking me? Why is your face so red?" JJ says, "It's because of the alcohol." Leo says, "Don't lie." Then he says, "Look at me. Tell me, how long have you been following me? Since before my debut, I was wondering how you knew so much about me. Tell me. If you don't answer me, I won't let you go."